started. So Darlene, what time is it out there in Moncton on the East Coast?
It is 11 p.m. That's right,
11
11 p.m. 11 at night, okay?
And you are looking bright and cheerful as always. So there you go. So Darlene is joining us from the East Coast. We've got people from Denver. We've got people from locally here from Vancouver Island. We've got people from Surrey. And this is pretty exciting. So again, if you are just joining us, check that chat box and let us know where you are joining us from. We've got people joining us from all over the place, which is really exciting. Kicking off 2019. Welcome to our 2019 kickoff webinar. My name is Liza Rogers and I'm the founder of WREN, and I'm here with my good friend and our education director, Darlene Smith, who's joining us from Moncton. Hey, Darlene.
Hey, excited to be here.
Super duper. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to walk you through a couple of things, and Darlene and I will do a little bit of back and forth. But first of all, this is technology, and so as we know, technology is wonderful when it works. Sometimes there will be issues, so I'm hardwired in. I know Darlene's hardwired in, but if something crazy happens, we'll get back online as soon as we can. We're going to share some slides with you tonight and walk you through a couple of things. So we just want to make sure that we give everybody a chance to get here and just show you around. I see many of you have found the chat box and are telling us where you're from. So I've got some notes here that I'm going to refer to as well. And again, we are recording this presentation, so we will be sure to send it out for you. And there will be a couple of handouts for those of you who are with us tonight live. So one thing that I also would love to do is I'd encourage you tonight to share and make some kind of a declaration. So you're here, there's a chat box, you're connected. I know it's not the way that we all love to connect, but you are connected to these people, and make a declaration about what you want for 2019. You know, tonight's about taking some action. So if your action is putting something in the chat box saying, hey, I'm going to work on my fitness goals this year, or I'm going to flip my first property, get it in there. When you commit to it by writing it down or typing it down or sharing it with other people, you have more chance of making it a success. So one of the fun things that I want to share tonight is I'm actually at my mom's house in White Rock. So one of my goals for 2019 is to be able to do a lot more work remotely. So I have intentionally come over to the mainland for about a month so that I can work from far away from home. And you can see the stuffed toys. I'm in my mom's house, and I've turned her spare bedroom into a little webinar studio tonight. So it's been really fun to set that up. So here we go. So I'm just going to jump onto this next slide here, and I think everybody can see that screen. Oh, and of course, first technology issue. There we go. It didn't want to skip over there. So hopefully you can see that slide now. Have you already fallen down? Can you see that one with looks like a little ski person laying in the snow? So we all set goals and resolutions for the beginning of the year, and sometimes it only takes a week to fall off track. So if you've fallen down, that's okay. We're going to help you get back up. And part of what WREN is about, it's about being a community of people who we have all fallen down. Darlene, have you ever fallen down?
Yeah, that looks like me earlier in my backyard while I was shoveling.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. We've got no sign of snow in the mainland here, but yeah, you guys got a lot on in Moncton, didn't you? So we definitely we fall down, we get back up, and when you have a great community of people who can support you, you can help yourself get back up faster because there's people to help you. So don't feel bad if you've already fallen off the 2019 wagon. There's still time to get back on. Lots of time. So today we're going to talk a little bit about WREN. So I'd be really curious to know, for the folks who are here, if this is your first time seeing anybody from WREN. My name's Liza Rogers. I'm the founder. Darlene Smith is our education director. Is this your first time seeing us, or are we regular old hat to you? So feel free to share that. And yeah, it'd be really cool to see if this is your first time meeting us, e-meeting us. We're going to talk about a couple of key points on real estate investing. I say key points because obviously we're not going to be able to get into too much on a webinar on the first go round. We want to give you some of the highlights. And of course, as we go throughout the year, we're going to dive into some specific topics, you know, joint venture, private lending, passive income. Excuse me, Darlene's going to put some great stuff together for you. We've already got some things that we'll share with you, but we'll go through a little bit of that as well. Because it's the beginning of the year, we're going to talk about goal setting and budgeting, and we have a couple of great templates to help you with that. Darlene has written a great ebook on mindset, and we are going to show you that as well. We have a new membership site. We really needed to go down the membership path because having events in Victoria and Vancouver is great, but we are starting to see that we've got people from all over Canada who want to join us, and that's fantastic. And so with Darlene on the East Coast and me on the West Coast and us being able to get online, it's really exciting for us to be able to reach more of you on this platform, and yeah, just invite more and more people to connect. And it wouldn't be a webinar that's about real estate if we didn't show you a couple of properties. So we're going to show you a couple of properties. Darlene, man, those Moncton properties you said, those are smoking hot. Wait until you see what you can buy in Moncton. I'm not even going to tell you how much, because if you're on the West Coast, you're going to die. So.
All right. I just want Elisa is in the chat, and Elisa, I just sent a note. You said you can only see us. Are you on a computer or are you on an iPhone? If anybody's on an iPhone, you can only see us. You can just swipe and we will disappear so you can see the slides. Can someone just put in the question box, can you slides, meaning you can see the slides? Okay, Elisa, yeah, if you're on an iPhone, you just need to swipe one way or the other and we will disappear and you can see the slides. Okay, got it? All right, awesome. Thank you.
The slides are way more exciting than us. And Darlene is the webinar expert. So Darlene, it's so great to have Darlene on the call. Like I say, we've changed technology. And so I'm still learning how to drive this baby. And Darlene, great to have you keeping an eye on all of that. So here we go. We want you to have some outcomes tonight. So what are you going to get out of this session? So we hope that you'll get lots of ideas, a sense of who we are, a feeling about whether this path is right for you, lots of visuals about what's being done, so things that we've already done and what's being done in the future, a little taste of what real estate investing is, an earful of ideas to help you make some decisions about what's next, an invitation to take some action. Ladies, gentlemen, you know, whatever you do, whether it's with us, whether it's with a new coach, whether it's with a fitness person, you know, take some action. 2019, the momentum that people are feeling is huge already, and it's really about taking some action. And one thing you're really going to notice about this tonight is this isn't all about real estate. I didn't necessarily get into real estate because I was passionate about real estate. I found that real estate is a great solution for helping me to live some of my dreams. If I use real estate as a tool, I can make a little bit more money, I can have some passive income, and I can travel more, I can spend more time with my friends. And so it's not just about real estate. Dar, do you have anything to say on that?
Nope, that's good. I was just answering a question. Sorry about that.
Cool. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for answering those questions. So those are the outcomes. I hope those feel good for people. Now, Sherry, I saw Sherry jump in a few minutes ago, so she was on the screen for a little bit. Sherry, if you are still able, feel free to pop up, but no big deal. And I want to say a huge thank you to Sherry Krause. There she is. Hi, Sherry. And so Sherry is our empowerment sponsor. So Sherry has really committed to helping WREN in a big way this year. With Sherry's help, we were able to reach more people. We are able to do more events. We're able to put a little bit more into our education and, of course, bring experts together. Sherry is a local realtor here in Victoria, BC. She does a lot of work in Victoria and Vancouver. And I think, Sherry, you're going to Keyspire tomorrow. Yep. I think you're unmuted, Sherry. So yeah,
there, I unmuted.
There
but yes, I leave tomorrow morning. Keyspire Summit in Niagara Falls.
Sherry's off to Keyspire to do some work in Toronto. So Sherry is a real estate investor, a landlord. She's developing apartments. She's a certified financial planner, and she's super passionate about helping women. And so, Sherry, you know how grateful I am. I just want to say it in front of all of the people who are here. Thank you so much for becoming a big sponsor this year. You've sponsored us since day one, and this year we've taken it up a notch. So I want to say a huge thank you to Sherry. I'm truly grateful to you for stepping on the WREN bandwagon. So thanks. And that's Sherry, everybody. So you'll be seeing her either online. She's going to do some presentations in the spring and summer. And of course, Sherry is often at our Vancouver or Victoria events. So a thank you to Sherry. All right, so a little bit about who we are. I'm a little brunette in this picture, but my name is Liza Rogers, and I started WREN practically by accident. I met with a group of ladies who were trying to figure out how am I ever going to be able to afford a property, especially here on the West Coast. And before I knew it, we had this organization, and it's been growing and growing. And Darlene Smith came to us this year. And Darlene, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what brought you to our little group here, our Women's Real Estate Network?
Yeah, so in 2018, last year, that sounds so strange. Maybe I'm an international award-winning motivational speaker, and I had an opportunity to, I think it was in March, to be invited and attend the expo that you have in Victoria, beautiful Victoria, which I love, that part of the country. So I had an opportunity to come out and meet all kinds of people, and hopefully some of you on the call tonight, on the webinar, I had an opportunity to meet, and that's kind of where the process had started, with looking at some things that are missing in the Canadian market, right? Particularly for women. And it made sense that, someone had to step up and provide that opportunity, more community. I mean, the States is well looked after, that's okay, but, focusing on the Canadian market as a group, it's just win-win-win. So, and I've been involved in real estate for, it's probably been a little over 8 years. I've actually been teaching across North America for a little over 4 years. So I think it's close to 5 now. And so, which is exciting. I enjoy sharing my knowledge and experience. I'm really just here to serve others. And, real estate starts with the mind. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Terrific. And so we're really, really thrilled that Darlene, who is such a great systems person and mindset person and passionate about helping women and representing the East Coast, right? East Coast has got to represent. So we're thrilled that you're here. And it just feels so good that we can reach out to so many people across Canada. And I know we've got some guys here too. And we're really happy to have you here. So we're going to talk about that in a second as well. Oh, look at that. There's the slide that talks about that. So WREN, yes, we are the Women's Real Estate Network, but we work with women and men. Our mission is to encourage, educate, and enlighten women to fund their future. And fun is part of our lives, and funding is part of our lives, using real estate as an investment, as an empowerment tool. So we focus a lot on women because women are driving the real estate market, but we don't necessarily talk to them at the kind of level, at the big education pieces at the same level. So we wanted to make sure that we were introducing women to real estate investing. We do it slightly differently, and so we just wanted to make sure that we were including everyone. So guys, you're more than welcome, and we're happy to have you here, as long as you don't mind the pink and as long as you don't mind us being girly. So hi guys, I can see a couple of you there, so thanks for being here. We value you a lot. So they're on the team, they're investors, all kinds of things. And so a little bit just about what we're about. So whether you're a man or a woman, we are all about connecting with like-minded people. We're about collaborating to enlighten, educate, and encourage. And we are about creating and celebrating community. So this is something that you don't necessarily need to be involved in real estate, but we feel that being in real estate and helping women and men connect to what real estate can open up to them and what possibilities. If you are interested in this and real estate is something that you want to learn to use as a tool, then this is what we're about. And this is what we do on a regular basis. So that's us. So hopefully that resonates a little bit with you. And that's why you're here. All right, so a little bit about the WREN team. So you just saw Sherry. I know Joan's there. She's mentioned something about a glass of wine. Joan, I really should have a glass of wine, but I actually have a glass of water. Mia is here, and you're going to see a couple pictures of Mia a little bit later when I show, or there's one there, but I'll show. You'll see another one shortly when we go onto the website. I think I saw Stefan was there, and yeah, so really glad to have so many great people helping us. A lot of people who are passionate about real estate and passionate about creating community. And one of the things we all have in common as well, we're all really passionate about traveling. And so this group kind of came together because we really believe that if we do more joint ventures and work together, we can travel more. Darlene, you can go and visit Nikki more.
I love that idea, particularly with
Yeah.
the snow. Yes.
Yes, get out of that 3 feet of snow that you have, absolutely. So if you want to have a little bit more time for your family and friends and traveling, then you can see that that's what our team is all about, and those are big goals for us this year, and that's why I'm doing this remotely. Next one, maybe not the next one, but one of them this year I'm definitely going to do from Mexico. So who knows who will be there with me. So we also work with great organizations. There's probably a few people of you who are on the call tonight who are members of WREN, the Real Estate Investment Network. I know there are people who have been involved with Scott McGillivray and Keyspire. Stefan Arnio came out to Victoria a couple years ago, and a few of you came and visited Stefan. So we get a lot of information from a lot of great people. And one of the things that I always say is I'm not a real estate expert. Darlene's definitely got way more expertise than I do. And so do a lot of these other people. What my gift is that I'm a connector. I bring people together and bring a great team of people that you can learn from. So people like Sherry, people like Darlene, the WREN team, we did an expo and they sponsored it, and so their whole team came out, and you'll see a little bit about that. So it's really important to work with great people, and when you're just getting started in real estate, you don't need to do it by yourself. And I think this is the mistake that a lot of people make, and it frightens them away a little bit. And what we are trying to show you is don't do it on your own. Make great use of your team. Dar, anything to add on that one?
No, I think that's great. You know, there's a lot of experts out there, and you know, good collaboration by, you know, learning from the best. A lot of people specialize in a lot of things about real estate. You know, there's a myth out there that it's just this little box, but there's so much others items that you can do as well. And I'm a big believer. I'm a sponge. I have spent tons of, you know, money, education, you know, in real estate, self-development, you name it, and just trying to be a better version of myself.
Absolutely. Never stop learning. And one thing as well, I just recently went to a Rich Dad seminar, you know, Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki. Great free weekend or free introductory seminar. Anytime you get a chance to go and learn something for free, you know, you may get one nugget of information. You may meet some great people. So when you have a chance to go, go. It's you'll get something out of it, especially if you go in with the right mindset. All right, so just a little bit about what we've done with WREN, so that those of you who are new can just get a sense of some of the things we've done. So I'm just going to show a couple of quick pictures here and give you a bit of an idea. So as I say, this all kind of started by accident. It started with a conversation. There's Mia right there, and my co-owner on the house that we bought, Kimberly. All started with the conversations around the coffee shops, especially here on the West Coast. How are we ever going to be able to afford to buy a property? And I've always been a bit of a creative thinker, and I had this dream to buy a house and turn it into an Airbnb. And people were saying, how are you ever going to be able to afford to do that? And I said, well, I'm going to do it with people. I'm not going to do it on my own. I'm going to do it with other people, with joint venture partners. And so that happened, and it's been really, really exciting. So that's one of the things that it all started from. That catapulted into this little group of women who were passionate about trying to figure out how to buy a property, to producing the first ever Victoria Real Estate Investment Expo. I shifted from first gear to sixth gear. Oh, my light's just dying there, but I'm sure you can still see me all right. I shifted from first gear to sixth gear practically overnight, and we did a big international expo, brought speakers from all across Canada, and even a couple from other places. And we had Mayor Helps open the show. We had the whole WREN team there as sponsors and speakers. And we had 40 booths and, yeah, I think 25 speakers from across Canada. So pretty cool stuff. Next thing, one of the things that we highlight is we do monthly events in Vancouver and in Victoria. I wanted to show you a picture of the guys in there to show you that, yes, guys, we often do events with the guys, but we try to do a quarterly event in Victoria and in Vancouver just for the women, just because when the ladies get together, the dynamic changes a little bit, and we want to make sure that the ladies have a space where they feel that they can talk about it on their terms. And it's just a little bit different than what the guys do, that's all. No biggie. There's Darlene. So we did another expo, gosh, I can say last year now. So we did another expo last year, and that was when Darlene came out to Victoria, and we really got this coast to coast idea. And so Darlene dove right in, and we were there. We had a great weekend, and then I went out to Moncton, and we spent some time putting some changes in the business and starting to put the real estate courses together. And that's just a shot of the expo. It was a great event. We had lots of fun, and I just wanted to show these last two slides to just show, you know, it's about having fun, it's about celebrating, it's about creating community, and Joan, there's the glass of wine. Yeah, I'll be having a glass of wine after this webinar for sure. So, so that's a little bit about what we've done. And now I want to just jump into a little bit about why real estate. This slide resonates with a lot of people. It'd be interesting to see how many people are surprised by this. Is this a surprise to anybody? 90% of millionaires became so through owning real estate. And you can see the top of that heading is, and they don't do it on their own. They have leveraged their real estate. They have leveraged other people's money. We bought the house that we turned into the Airbnb using mostly other people's money. And so when you are thinking about investing in real estate, you don't have to think about doing it on your own. Dar, anything you want to say on that one?
No, I think that, you know, the one thing about real estate, and there's a lot of myths out there, and that's one of the things that, you know, throughout the training that we're going to address. And it is correct. And one thing about real estate, you don't have to do it full time. And there's many different ways, many different options that you have. And so, you know, we're just opening it up so that seeing how you can get involved in not just the traditional flipping and holding and buying and all that stuff.
And I think that's actually the next, oh, it's maybe the slide after that. So this slide talks a little bit about, you know, again, why real estate. And when we talk about knowledge and we talk about you don't have to know it on your own, this is one of those things that an expert real estate investor is going to either know or they're going to work with their team to get the facts. So a lot of you have probably heard the expression location, location, location. So yes, location is really important, but what is it about the location that's important, okay? So if we take a minute and look at this slide, it's gross domestic product. What is the economy? What's growing? Are they adding schools? Are they adding factories? I mean, right now, maybe factories isn't the right word. Are they adding a new hybrid car company that's going to take us into the future? That kind of thing. Universities. So what's actually adding to the economy? You know, a lot of talk right now in Canada, of course, with the oil and gas industry in Alberta. I mean, that really hit real estate hard. It's starting to come back. So a lot of people are saying that Alberta is going to be a great place to invest because it went down a little bit and now it's starting to come back up. Lots of opportunity across Canada for different reasons. So where is the economy growing? What is it about that economy that's interesting? How much of a future does it have? And then, of course, when your economy is growing, you get employment. So right now, I think in Victoria and Vancouver, we have some of the lowest employment stats that we've ever had. People are just getting jobs left, right, and center. So the job market is really, really good if you're on the West Coast. population growth, so that's how many people are moving in, how many people are immigrating. You know, here in Victoria, we have what we call our overseas investors. Darlene's smiling because she already knows our overseas investors are people who are moving over from Vancouver because Victoria has the best weather in Canada. We don't have any snow. Sorry, Dar. There's no snow. Actually, I might be telling a little bit of a lie there. I think we had some snow flurries yesterday. Nothing in White Rock where I am right now, but I think there were some snow flurries yesterday. So population, you know, those people coming from overseas, which in our Victoria case is the Vancouverites. How, you know, what's the rental demand? I mean, rent is going up and up and up and up. I mean, gone were the days where you could get a 1-bedroom for $600 a month. Maybe in Moncton you can still once in a while find that, but it's getting harder, isn't it? Decreased vacancy. Our vacancy rate in Victoria is less than 1%. And Vancouver, I think it's probably around the same. If anybody's got the most recent stat, feel free to post that up. Darlene, the vacancy rate on the East Coast is quite a bit higher, isn't it? You don't have quite as much.
No, we don't. We have the opposite problem as the West Coast is that, first of all, we don't have enough jobs, and second of all is we don't have enough people, and we have too much inventory. So we're totally the opposite. So come east.
Yeah,
and you're talking about Alberta. It really affected East because it actually affected the airlines, WestJet in particular, because a lot of people were living here, bringing their money back to Eastern Canada, but working in Alberta. So when I was doing a lot of flying, so I'd get on the plane, it would be like, yep, you're working in Alberta, oil field. Those are probably the ones that had more than wine before they got on the plane.
So here we go. We talked about increased rents, property purchase demand, and increased prices. So just again, as an example of my property, we bought it in Victoria. People thought we were crazy. We bought this crazy house that had been sitting on the market for ages. And I'm going to talk about my house on another session because we're going to do an Airbnb or short-term vacation rental session. But we bought it before the market went up. It's gone up 40%. We just got our assessment. I actually think the assessment is too high because the assessment shows it going up something like $70,000 this year. So I think it might be a little bit high. I'm going to have to follow up on that. But these are the key things that either you or your team member want to understand and talk about when you're looking at a property, and especially if you're looking in a new area. I'm really excited about looking at some of the things that are coming up on the East Coast. The economy may not be too strong right now, but there's a lot of universities in the East Coast, and they're really good universities that attract a lot of international students. So great university student housing, and when you see the prices of them, you know they could work. So you do your due diligence, and you could end up with a good investment there. So just a little bit about what types of investments. So what kind of things are you going to be investing in? This is, you know, a really big overview, and I just highlighted a couple of the things that we're going to be focusing on this year. Buying and selling, showing people how to do their first flip. Wholesaling, maybe not on the West Coast so much, but wholesaling on the East Coast. Dar, you probably are still seeing wholesaling on the East Coast.
Yeah, there's still a great opportunity, just that we have less investors. So, you know, and we're small. We're small money.
Small money.
Small money, yeah.
That also almost looks like a box, right? We like to be outside the box. So let's, yeah. So rentals, obviously, that's a place where a lot of people start, is with, you know, getting an income suite, putting an income suite in, or building laneway housing, or lots of different options there. So those are the kinds of things that we're going to do over the course of the year. And you'll be able to find what you're interested in and what suits you. And we've got some programs that will help you decide what's right for you as well. So whether you're a seasoned investor and you want to become a private lender, or you want to do your first flip, or you want to add an income suite to your property, we will be focusing on those this year. And one that's really close to my heart is the Airbnb short-term rental. So that is the property that I did in Victoria. And actually right now it's so busy we don't even have it listed on Airbnb. We've got more longer term, short term rentals. So I'm more in the 3-month range. We've even got a dog at the house now, which is terrific. So we'll talk about that over the course of the year. I know there's a lot of people who are passionate about vacation rentals, owning property in other parts of the world, and so we'll definitely do a webinar or two about that. And yeah, that's kind of the highlights. We only have an hour tonight, so we still wanted to show you this goal setting list and the sample budget sheet. So just that was a really quick high level overview of real estate investing and a little bit about Dar and I. Dar, do you want to say anything before I jump into the sheets that we're going to share?
Yeah, just thanks, Sherry. Victoria vacancy rate is 1.2%. I'm like, wow. We're more like in the 5-6% here. One of the things is we have too much land. Real estate is cheap. It's easy to build, and we need more people. So just saying into that. And one of the things we look at is that we're just providing opportunities that you can see. You can get involved in real estate. It's just not buying a house. There are other ways. So keep your mind open for that, and stay tuned for more opportunities.
Mm-hmm. So a duplex or a small apartment building. Ooh, fun.
Yeah, and lending, things like that, meaning there's other ways than just stuff. Typically we hear is just flipping houses. There's other ways you can do investing without just flipping. Not really flipping. Right? Yeah, you don't need to flip yourself, but
Got it. Cool. Okay, so we'll do lots of Q&A at the end as well. So before we sort of jump into any questions, we're going to show you a little bit on the new membership site, and that is where the, fingers crossed, the technology works. That's where the goal setting sheets and the budget sheet are. So let's just see if this opens up here, and let me know if you can see it. I also do have it in my screen, so if this is slow to open, which it looks like it is a little bit, I'm going to open it another way. So stand by here, and we will just do it this way so you can see it. So just give me a second here. Okay, so here is the goal setting sheet. Can you see that on your screen?
Now we have it, yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit small because I've just got it up as a PDF, but it's 2019, it's the beginning of the year. It's a great time to talk about goal setting, and we've created this really simple sheet. It's got a cover page, and then it's got these little boxes in here that you can fill in for different parts of your life. And there's this will be available on the membership site, and for everybody who's participating in the webinar tonight, this will be an attachment that you'll get in a follow-up email. So you'll have this sheet. I recommend printing it out and filling it out in pen, because there is something about writing something in pen that changes the psychology of it and actually starts to sink it in. The other thing is feel free to share it with someone. So find a buddy, do it together, buddy up, make a commitment to work on this together. And I'll just take you through a couple of things here. Now, how many people, you can say yes in the chat box, or you can however you feel like saying yes. How many people have heard of SMART goals? Most people know about SMART goals. And SMART goals are great, and I know that lots of people use SMART goals. Now, I'm a little bit out there, so if you've heard of Brendan Bouchard before, you may know that he uses what we call dumb goals, which is kind of fun. There's a video on this sheet that you can link, and it will show you Brendan's explanation of dumb goals, and he'll get into a little bit more. But basically, dumb goals, they're a little bit more, I don't know, I guess they're, in some ways, they feel a bit bigger. SMART goals they're a little bit conservative. They have, timelines, and they're measurable, whereas dumb goals are like, oh my God, this is my dream. I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna solve this problem, or I'm gonna have this thing happen. It's gonna be amazing. So the process of them is just a little bit zanier than the SMART goals. So whichever one you choose, whether it's our goal setting sheet or I know Darlene's got some stuff in the mindset book that you're going to be able to see. If you find something online, print it out, write it out, get those goals happening. And feel free, again, use the chat box if you've already set a goal for this year. And you want to share it so that it's recorded in history, and we can put that out to the world, and you can say, hey, this is my goal. Well, we might be able to check in on you in a little while and see how that goal's doing. So this, I've given you an example here, and again, as I said, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's different categories here. So your physical goals, your intellectual goals, your emotional goals, your spiritual goals, material, what do you want to own, financial, what do you want to have in your bank account, professional, where do you want your career, and of course fun. You know, you always hear us talking about fun. Where do we want to go for traveling this year? Your legacy goals, what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to leave to your friends, your family, your community, and of course family, friends, and relationship, because family, friends, and relationship, those are pretty big goals too, and they need lots of work to nurture. So what I recommend you do is do a recap of 2018. Now, this is a really fun exercise to have a look at last year, have a look at your calendar, or have a look at your notebook, or have a look at your journal. And if you haven't already done this, go back and have a look and see what you did. Because when you kind of start getting hard on yourself and you go back and you see what you did, you might actually be surprised. Like a couple of people said, hey, you know, that expo that you did in 2017. I'm like, yeah, and 2018. Oh my God, that's right. You did too. And that other one was just this past year. So up until a week ago, or just over 10 days ago, we were saying, oh yeah, the expo that we did this year, because it felt like it had been ages ago. But it was only, what is that, 8 months ago? So yeah, we did a big expo, and we had people from all across Canada, and we had speakers, and we had 2 mayors speaking there. And so, you know, I kind of have to remind myself that was just last year. So what did you do last year? And if you didn't reach your goals last year, that's okay. But again, if you've fallen, get back up, right? It's early in the year. You've got people around you. Use this time to get back up and start again. So Dar, do you want to say anything on that?
Yeah, just 2 things. First of all, on the GoToWebinar, if you see in the box handouts, if there's on the handouts, you can actually download them. If you're on a computer, you can actually download them now. You'll see for the goal setting and RENs there as well. And I love that Lori put in 3 apartment buildings. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And it's so much, you know, if you look at successful people and some of their habits, you know, setting goals, writing them down is part of it. And, you know, breaking them down. And some people say, well, I want to do X. All right. So that's great, but let's break it down into individual steps that you want to get to there. And, you know, it's just, you can put it, you know, it's, if you put it out there, it's amazing how things can happen. So I can't stress enough a goal. I've been doing goal setting for years, always do a summary of how it worked out on a regular basis. So make that one of your good habits.
Absolutely. And you'll find on the sheet there's some really simple little instructions. It's really basic. Goal setting can get as complicated or as simple as you make it. We've tried to keep it really simple. Feel free to share with us. You know, pick one if you want to get started and work on that, and you'll hopefully be able to access that. And of course, let me know if for any reason you have any problems with that. Or if the video link doesn't open for you. We think we corrected that video link today, so so there we go. So that is goal setting, and so now I just want to show you a little bit about this super duper budget sheet that we created. Okay, how many people hate doing a budget? I used to be one of those people, and I actually really like doing a budget now because it helps me to set up my year. Now, this is a personal budget. If you do your personal budget, this is going to help you set up. Obviously, if you're in business, you want to do a business budget as well. But a lot of people have no idea how much money they spend in a day, in a week, in a month. And so this budget sheet, which we've kind of captured from a couple of different areas and put it together, this covers a lot. So if you can see that, I'm gonna, this particular first page here, it's It's a downloadable document, and you can open it in Google Sheets, or you can open it in Excel. You could probably open it in Pages as well if you're on a Mac, but again, let us know. And Wendy, our wonderful web person, can probably help adjust it if it needs to be adjusted. But the way to work through this is, first, there's a bit of a sample budget here. So if you scroll down, there's your income. You know, some people right now, you might only have one source of income, but what else do you want? Do you want to make some rental income? Do you want to get some investment income? Do you want some active income? Do you want some passive income? And those are things that we'll talk about when we do the webinars. And those are also covered in the course that Darlene created.
Yeah. So if one of these categories I don't like it, can I change it?
Yes, you can. So we originally had this locked, but we have added it so that you can unlock it, so you can customize it a little bit to your own liking, remembering that you can always go back down and download the version that's on the website.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good one. So yeah, some great expenses in here. Concerts. I love going to concerts, but yeah, I got to figure out a good one to go to soon. Eye care, food and groceries, gifts, right? How many people just blew the budget with gifts? Your utility, yeah. Internet, credit line payments, MSP, memberships, miscellaneous, grooming. I mean, we think we've got a lot of it on here. So it's a really good sheet. So this first page, don't fill anything in on that one when you start filling it out. Go to the one that's called Worksheet, and that's where you can start filling it in. And it's for every month, and so you want to total up for your month. And when you start filling it in on the month here, it's actually also going to populate it into this nice printable version. So do the work on the worksheet, and you know, get your hydro bills out and get your receipts out, and do a month and really get a good idea about what you're doing there. And then you'll have a whole worksheet, and it'll add up for the whole year, and you will get a really good idea about what you're spending in a year. Now, you could do this for last year, you could do an estimate, you could do it for 1 month, and then you can base it. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this. Then, for fun, what I really encourage you to do, some people are going to think this is sick, because this is, Liza, this is fun, this is a budget, this is fun. What I encourage you to do is go back and do the tab that says your dream worksheet. Now, the reason I encourage you to do this is because this is not the budget as it is. This is the budget you want to create as if you're taking that extra vacation, as if you're going out and taking your mom out for dinner 2 or 3 times a week, as if you are buying that first property and you're putting some money aside for that. So think about, if you were really living your budget to the way you wanted to, go in and really have some fun, because what you'll find is you'll do your dream budget and you'll have your actual budget, and you'll see where there's a hole. Okay, now on this first sample sheet, you're going to see in the instructions, I've written your goal is to have a whole income, not a spending hole. Okay, so WHOLE. You want your whole income. You want your dream income. You want lots of big numbers. You don't want a hole. You don't want to get to the end of your budget and see that you've got a negative amount. So dig out of the hole and get to having a whole budget. So that's just a little way that I thought we'd come up with for helping work on that. So how's that sound to everybody? Does that look like fun? Or am I just sick?
No, there's a couple people on here that love, Dana loves budgets too. You've got a couple budget fans. So what you're saying is that this is an Excel sheet. Formulas are already populated, so I don't have to add anything. It's going to do it all for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if you have any problems with it, let us know, because you know this is the first go round, but we've practiced on it a couple times and it works really well. Use the instruction page first, then go to the worksheet, and then you can even print it out and have a look at it. And I encourage you to do that. And Dana, yeah, I'm not surprised that you're loving budgets. It's fun. It's really great. Okay, so I'm going to get into another screen here. We've got this one. Let me just jump back here for a second.
And while you're Yeah, while you're doing that, one thing we always suggest, which is a good habit, is anytime you have these forms, download them and keep the originals, right? Download them originals and then, label it whatever it be the year, so that if anything ever does happen for formulas or anything like that, you're like me, you're just like, oh, I don't want to put those in. You can go back and use the original. So just a good
Absolutely.
little tip in there. So
Absolutely. What I usually do, I usually save mine as a template, and then the template is always the template, and I don't mess with that. So we're back on our little slideshow. If everybody can see the little membership slideshow, let's see what happens when I click on this now. What we want to do is just show you a little bit about the new membership site. It's super exciting. There are already a few people who have bought memberships with WREN, so we're really, really happy about that. And I will, of course, for whatever reason, it's been super fast all day, and right now it's a little bit slow. So if it doesn't open in a second, there we go. So it's just opening up here. So here is our membership site. Thank you to Wendy for creating this back office membership piece. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of what this looks like and tell you how you can become a member and why we want you to become members and what we're doing. So if you become a member, you'll see this little back office page here. You'll see the downloads, and there's a little welcome video. And you will also, I'm just going to scroll up here so you can see, you'll see kind of what's coming up immediately. So the next thing that I'll be putting up there, we'll have a Vancouver event on the 15th of January next week. So we'll get that up there. You'll see when the webinars are coming up. And if you click on each of these buttons at the top, so I'm just going to go to the first one here, this is where we'll post a lot of the education pieces. So we're working on adding these right now, but you'll have tools that will be from us, as well as some of our community partners. So I know Sherry's got a couple of things that we're going to upload. Darlene has got some great templates. There's that word again, some great templates to use. We're going to put more of those up. Our Powerhouse playbook from Charlene Sanjenko at Powerhouse. It's a great organizing tool for any women and gentlemen who are in business and want to work through some leadership type of work. So we're happy to share that as well, and we'll have lots more on there. We talked about the fact that we're going to be doing monthly webinars. And so when you're a member, you'll see which webinars are coming up. And so just as an example, for members, we'll be doing the webinars the first Wednesday of every month. Now, this one is obviously a little bit different because of New Year, but it'll generally fall on the first Wednesday of every month unless there's something going on like a long weekend. So Darlene is going to do one on February 6th. We're going to talk about opportunities in Victoria. Sherry is going to talk about using real estate to create social change. Sherry is also going to be at the Vancouver event next week talking about this in person. So for those of you who have seen Sherry or who have not seen Sherry, you'll get a chance to see her live and in person, and also at the event in Vancouver next week. And I'm going to talk about the joint venture Airbnb a little bit later as well. So these dates are all flexible. We'll also take your feedback in terms of what people are wanting to know, and we'll make sure that we can address those with some webinars. Some of the webinars will take on the form of a case study because everybody wants to see the numbers. So we will show you case studies of properties, and they will be here's a property that Darlene did, here's a property that Liza did, here's a property that someone else did, and we'll actually walk you through how those were done. So just as an example here, here's a couple of slides. So we will have a case study. We'll walk you through the process, what it looked like before, what it looked like afterwards, how you got the deal done. Did you use other people's money? What was the outcome? Did you make any money? Did you sell it? Was it a buy and hold? So we'll walk through those as well. We've got great guest speakers lined up. And so if you want to see who we are lining up this year, And this is just early. These are basically for the first 6-7 months, depending on how many things we can squish in and how busy we want to keep all of you. So we have the lovely Tahani Abernehu from Toronto, who is going to tell us her story. She has the most amazing story. I don't want to spoil it, but Tahani has done amazing things. She has multiple businesses in Toronto. She's become a millionaire, and she started out with nothing, and I mean that literally. And she has an amazing story. Rita, who some of you saw, and I know a lot of ladies and gentlemen are interested in this. Rita has presented to us on investing in Mexico and Spain. And yes, I know, everybody wants to buy in Spain or Mexico. I know, don't worry, we'll get there. Just give us a few minutes. Kyle Green, one of our great gentlemen on the team, who he's always speaking about what the changes are. It's hard to keep up with all the rule changes these days, so Kyle will always be keeping us up to date, and we'll have a chat with Kyle. Katie McGowan, Katie and I are going to talk about traveling and working, co-working, co-living spaces. Again, that's another thing that I know we are super passionate about. Lots of guest speakers. So I know we're getting close to an hour, so I'm going to try to just wrap this up pretty quick. Oh, one thing I do want to show you, success and celebrations, because it is about fun and it is about sharing our success and celebrating. And so a huge congratulations to our friend Mia and her partner Chris on the birth of their baby daughter, the beautiful Georgia. So we posted that on here. One of the reasons we posted it is because Georgia was born on the same day that Chris and Mia bought their new house. So talk about trying to do things big. There is, hopefully you can see that. Congratulations to Mia and Chris, and there's baby Georgia. She was premature, just a little bitty thing. She's home now. She's doing well, and a huge congratulations. So we want to be able to share your successes and your wins, and just really like egg you on and push you forward, and it's part of the falling down and getting up and celebrating those wins as well. So we only have a couple minutes left. Really quickly, I'm going to show you one of the projects that we have. Lori, if you are still on the call, this is a great project that Lori Bolu has in the United States right now. It's an awesome investment, and I know she is looking for some investors, so please feel free to reach out to Lori. I'm just going to pop this open here, and I think I might have it open. Oh, we'll just see if it opens here. Just going to show you, if you have an opportunity that you want to post, feel free. As a member, you can post these opportunities, and as a member, you get first crack at investment opportunities, connecting with other members, and so on. Go ahead, Darlene.
Yeah, just what happened with the technical part is, while the page is loading, it's hard to hear you. So maybe just let it load for a second, and then yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Now you're great.
Okay. How's that? Can you hear me better now? Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is just one of those great properties that Lori has, and so this is on the membership site. If you have some interest in investing in a great property in the US, this is a really good property. She had this vetted. She worked through it with a good friend of ours, a colleague, Ray Ostrander, who is a Keyspire former trainer. He's now investing almost exclusively in the US. He's divesting from his Canadian content and investing in the US. So Lori's working with him on this particular project, and it's looking really good. So I'm going to close a couple of these down so that we can just finish off on the slideshow. And let me just jump back to that. All right, if we close this, okay, we'll go back over here. Well, I've got to find it now. Where is it? Let's see. Might have to just go back. There it is.
Just down at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, so can you see that now, the membership site again? Perfect. Okay, so Again, just a couple properties. Here's that one that I was teasing you about that Darlene shared with me earlier. So this is $160,000 multifamily in Moncton. And so 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms for $160,000. So potentially a great opportunity if the economic forecast is there. If there's university, hospitals, you know, what's there, right? Dar, do you want to say anything about this one?
Yeah, this one is actually walking distance to one of our hospitals. We have 2 hospitals here. It is, you know, yes, it is a 4-plex. Now, this is the lower income level. The rents are low. So this would be a building that would be a great opportunity, but you're going to keep the lower income if you keep it the way it is. It would be a great one to fix up and raise the rents. This would be an example of almost flipping a business. If you put renovations into it, the existing people would not be able to stay because they can't afford it. But excellent location. We have some great old properties like that in the city here. And yeah, it's only
$160,000 for an amazing property. And yeah, I mean, when I went out, Darlene and I looked at some properties and they were just phenomenal. I mean, you know, university, hospitals, and they cash flow, right? A lot of people in Vancouver, you don't cash flow anymore. You might be buying for appreciation, but that could be coming. I mean, okay, I don't want to say it's coming to an end, but it could be coming to an end for a few years while we settle back down. This was the one that we just looked at with Lori. And I see, it looks like Diana wants to see that, Lori, so we'll make sure that you guys get connected if you haven't already, and we'll make sure that you get to see that. I think because we're running low on time, I'm going to skip this part, but basically, when you become a member, you will be able to take the course that Darlene has built for us, and you can take it in one of 2 ways. So when you become a member, the course, which is called Start Here with Real Estate. It's a good introductory course. Darlene worked with our friend Tina and put this great program together to help you get started. When you become a member, that's part of your membership. If you're not becoming a member, you can go to the Intentional Success page and you can purchase that course as a standalone for $97. $97. It's amazing. And so at the end, depending on who's still around, I don't want to go too much over time, but we can have a quick look at that if everybody wants to stay a few minutes longer. And so action items. So I can see that there have been a few people posting in the question and the chat box. So what action are you going to take in 2019, whether it's with real estate, whether it's with your family, whether it's on a goal setting? Are you going to do the budget? Are you going to do a big trip? What action items? Share them with us. Please share them with us. It just drives the whole energy, and when you put it out there, you know, really exciting things happen. So action items with us. Well, of course, please sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to show you the links at the very end. Check out the blog. We'll be posting some more blogs this weekend. There's a questionnaire on the website that asks you to tell us a little bit more about what's your real estate experience, so that we can, if something comes up, we can point you in the right direction, and follow us on social media and Facebook and all of those things. Gosh, we've got everything in multiple, so I'll share a couple of those with you. And membership. So we're really hoping that more of you are going to become members. We just launched the membership, I think about a week ago. Obviously, we still have lots more items to put up in there, but part of the membership is being able to reach more people. So many people were reaching out to us and saying, hey, can I take you for coffee? Hey, can we do this together? Hey, can you come and look at this deal? And we just couldn't reach all of the ladies and gentlemen who are interested in doing something in real estate. So we decided we'd add this layer with the monthly webinars. We would offer more member-to-member opportunities so that you can also talk to each other. And so we've gotten bigger, and so memberships seem to be like the perfect way to go. So hopefully there are going to be some of you who are going to say in the question and answer and chat box, yes, we are going to buy memberships. So here's a couple of incentives for you. We have a launch special on until January 30th. Now, a lot of the memberships that Darlene and I have, and that people like Joan and, you know, who've been at Keyspire and Lori with Fortune Builders, these memberships have cost thousands of dollars. a year. I mean, there's a couple that are a few $100s a month. We're keeping it really simple. We want to keep it inexpensive so that it's approachable and you can get in there. So the regular yearly price will be $3.99. We have a January launch of $2.99, and obviously, as I mentioned, we'll be putting more items on there. And if you are on the webinar today and you use the coupon code January 9th webinar, you'll get an extra 20% off that $2.99 until the end of January. So you can save an extra little bit there. Brings it down to about $250 with tax, and that's for the year. And our first members are really going to help us design, what do you want to hear? What do you want to see? What kind of webinars do you want? What do you want to learn about? What kind of guest speakers are you looking for? And so we're really hoping that that you'll dive in, and it just helps us stay connected. You know, doing the expos is expensive, doing the monthly events is expensive. We need to keep this going. We really want to continue to build community, and so we'd love it if you helped us so that we can help you and we can all win. We like it when we all win. We like 5 wins, actually. We'll talk about that another time. So thank you from WREN. I'm sure that there are probably quite a few people who have to dive off, but if you would like to stay here, we'll do some question and answer, and I'm going to put up the links now. So obviously the website is the easiest one, WREN.club. The events are listed there. The membership sign-up page is there.